today, this is a test, but just a test, but who knows what can happen. So thank you so much. And maybe you'll stick around if anything comes up. Hi, everybody. This is a test, but I just wanted to say just a very brief shout out to Chrysler Imperial. Thank you so much for coming in, and shout out to anyone that's around. This is a test that I'm going to be doing on some audio, but I don't know. Who knows? I might get into something. I do have some thoughts. I'm a little bit conflicted over whether to deal with this topic over live stream or whether to do it via video, do it in the video. But shout out to the loyal patrons. Shout out to Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, Definition of Anarchy, Angel's Army, the former Angel Munez Variety Show, also Little Miss Goth, Let the Truth Be Told, and Chrysler Imperial H. Thank you so much. As well as a shout out to Cold War Jesus. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. And I'm going to go with my instincts on this. This is a test, so you might have to be a little bit patient. I don't know if you how much time do you have, but I'm going to take a little bit of this time, and I do have some thoughts. Shout out to Kimon Reed, Unstoppable. This is not a scheduled stream by any stretch. It's not, but I have sometimes my thoughts are a little bit asymmetrical or either. So I just kind of take them as they come. But thank you guys so much if you're hanging around. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and do just a little bit of comment. And it might come off as a rant. But I just shout out. Thank you guys so much for taking care with the Channelytics. The Channelytics, hitting that the thumbs up or the thumbs down button, and or either sharing or either just making sure that you're subscribed. That helps out with Channelytics, and it helps out with what we call housekeeping around here. So I appreciate that. So, of course, yesterday was pretty. It was a bit scary, but we weren't quite. President Trump didn't appear to be rattled, even though that was the press. They just had to ask. They can't help themselves. But I want to get to something else. And I want to. It's concerning Joe Biden. So what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to. I'm just conflicted with it, but it's concerning Joe Biden's current status, and it's concerning the black community, or people that consider themselves prominent figures in the black community. And they seem to be rallying behind this idea of, this is what I'm calling, they're all demanding, or they're acting like some type of paper gangsters or something, publishing letters and basically saying, Joe Biden, you pick a black woman or else. Does that sound like does that sound like an American community, or does that sound like an American proposition? To me, it sounds a little bit gangster, a little bit mobster. And for one, when I look at the list, when I look at the person on the top of the list, and I look at just the list overall, these are not what I consider prominent figures in the black community. Thanks so much, Chrysler Imperial H. I really appreciate it. I want to do a sound check is what I'm eventually wanting to do. But I don't really consider these individuals to be prominent figures. You know, when I looked at the list, I didn't recognize quite a few of the names, but these are the same. It's a circle of, it's like they're literally begging to stay on the plantation. Like, why would you negotiate with somebody that enslaved you physically, and now they've even got a mental hold on your community? But then you go in here and tell them that they must pick a Black woman to be the VP. Your VP nominee has to be Black. And this, and I'm getting into this. I'm getting into this in the worst way. Okay, so I'm just kind of winging it right now because it's disturbing to me, and that's a part of the reason why I was conflicted about the way I was going to handle the situation. So shout out to everybody that's in the stream. But I would like to do a little bit more research, but who knew that there was going to be a concerted effort? I've never seen the Black community come out to support anything on this. I've never seen them you're going to these measures to nominate somebody. And then let me just read. I'm gonna read this. It's not even a letter. It's more like it's not even a proposition. I'm not sure anything that, that's got Charlemagne the Gods, and I cringe when I say that, Leonard, whatever, McKelvey or whatever his name is. When I say that, it's more than disturbing. Thank you so much. I actually was going to use the microphone and all, so that's part of the sound check today, but hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much. Let the truth be told. I really appreciate it. And let me open up this letter a little bit. Okay. So it's generally more than 100 Black male leaders. Now we're leaders. Okay, let me keep going. I don't want to get stuck in the minutia because there's a lot of minutia. This is majority minutia. It's not even it's more of it's a statement. It's a statement, but it's also a threat in a way. Or else what? More than 100 Black male leaders signed statement of solidarity requiring a Black woman vice president. #win with Black women. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you guys. I can't make this stuff up. Why not? Why not do this on my sound test? Working through a few things around here. So why not? Hope you guys are doing well. Shout out to Kimon Reed Unstoppable. Shout out to Let the Truth Be Told. Chrysler Imperial. Shout out to Let the Truth Be Told, Chrysler Imperial H. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you guys for taking care with those buttons. So I can't say how long this is going to last, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up. I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm going to share this really quickly. All right. So what I need to do. All right. So this is a letter. I will blow this up a bit. So at least, we've got the right category. It is a statement. Okay, so it's a statement or an affidavit of what? Okay, whatever. Just give me just 1 second here, guys. I'm going to put this in full screen for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to a sound check. Actually, right now I'm going to go into the sound check mode. Why not sound check? Why not sound check this one? This one needs a sound check. Let me know if you can hear me, because I'm going to testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Let me know if you can actually hear that. You can give me a 1 for a yes, and I'll take a 2 for a no. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you guys can hear this. I really appreciate it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to open up this statement here. We have a statement that says more than 100 Black male leaders signed statement of solidarity requiring a Black woman vice president. #win with Black women. Oh boy, this is fully loaded and it's going to take some time, but I just want to read this letter. It says, as someone who has said throughout the campaign that VP Joe Biden needs to choose a Black woman VP, the urgency for that pick has gone from something that should happen to something that has to happen. All right, so you got should, has, okay? It discussed us that Black women are not just being vetted in this VP process, but unfairly criticized and scrutinized. Okay, it says, was Joe Biden ever labeled, quote, too ambitious, end quote, because he ran for president 3 times? Should President Obama not have made him the VP because he had to worry about his, quote, loyalty, end quote, when he clearly had ambitions to be president himself? Why does Senator Kamala Harris have to show remorse for questioning Biden's previous stance on integrated busing during a Democratic primary debate? Have Democratic Party leaders, allies, or donors ever required Joe Biden to show remorse for the 1986 or 1988 anti-drug abuse bills, which established mandatory minimum sentencing and subsequently crack cocaine sentencing disparities, and by his own admission, led to mass incarceration? What about the 1994 crime bill? Let's be clear about the kind of remorse and reckoning that matters in 2020. All right, so here we go, folks. Brace yourselves. Are you sitting down? Reckoning that matters in 2020 when the Black community is still suffering from the consequences for these oppressive measures. So Black women are the only ones required to stay in their place and to show remorse for even questioning their own oppression. For too long, Black women have been asked to do everything from rally the troops to risk their lives for the Democratic Party with no acknowledgement, no respect, no visibility, and certainly not enough support. More than 700 Black women signed on to a letter demanding a Black woman VP, and we Black men stand in solidarity with them. Sorry. Failing to select a Black woman in 2020 means you will lose the election. We don't want to choose between the lesser of two evils, and we don't want to vote for the devil we know versus the devil we don't, because we are tired of voting for devils, period. In solidarity. So then there comes your swath of signatures. Hope you guys are still with me. You can hear it. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Let the truth be told. I really appreciate it. So I'm not sure if you guys could hear that or, you just told me you could hear it. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this statement that's out there, but I want to do a little bit more research, because if there's 700 Black women so you got 100 Black men that signed it, and you got 700 Black women that signed it. Okay. So for the sake of argument, you might have, this is lunacy. It's lunacy. It's worse than lunacy. It's Stockholm syndrome. It's got to be Stockholm syndrome. And I'm going to say this, and if YouTube decides to drop me, then let the dropping begin. This is like, there's so many issues with this. So many issues. There's so many issues with the Black community still being chained to the Democrat Party. Why are you begging? You just admitted oppression. Your letter, Your statement acknowledges oppression, but you're asking the oppressor to give you something, or they will lose. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I mean, I'm just for kicks, from something that should happen to has to happen. So, okay, we warned you one time that it should happen, and so now it has to happen. So now we're threatening you. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Hope you can hear this. But so I'm just thinking, I don't know if you guys can see this. For those of you, if you're driving, down the road or whatever with the windows down or whatnot, letting your hair, blow in the wind, whatever. I mean, I did go over this letter. Now, I don't want to read it again for the people in the back. I just want to make sure I'm not missing something here. So it looks like they were issued a warning, and now they've been issued a threat. But what I would like to see, the 700 women that are signing this letter. Now, this was, I don't know if this was, I guess, was it Sean P. Diddy Combs? I'm not sure if he put this out, or I can't remember. This was posted by Molly Nagel. So I'm not sure if I can find the women that signed this, because there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues that are going on, and there are a lot of unique issues to the Black community. And this is the Black male response. This is 100 Black men standing in solidarity. What are you standing in solidarity for? Affirmative action? You say you're not happy because she's being vetted. Okay. And then you go on to say that she's been scrutinized and criticized. Well, under these circumstances, that criticism and that scrutiny is warranted, because you're dealing with a party that has a permanent system of inferiority and marginalization for Black people. You heard Joe Biden's own assertion or assessment of communities when he's contrasting communities. And of course, he came out with some low balling, whatever, damage control. But you're an essential worker. You're talking about a man who has basically identified the Black community as being low in diversity. Now, whether he's not just talking about, he didn't clarify that, he didn't expound on it, but he left that for the imagination. He could be referring to thought. He could be referring to that's the way that party views the Black community. Geographically, to even call somebody an African American is annoying to me. Please don't ever call me an African American, okay? Because if you're doing that, you need to identify my point of origin, my family's point of origin. Are you saying I'm from the Congo? Am I Congolese? Am I Ethiopian? Am I Ghanaian? Am I where? Cameroonian? I mean, what are you going to do? Can you get specific? I don't know, help me out. But they're doing everything they can. This is the thing. You're willing to beg these people to stay to keep so that you can keep them as your God, so you can keep them as your government God, because I'm going to tell you straight up, I do believe that the Black community basically made a deal with the devil in the 1960s, and what they got in exchange was government rights. And these are rights that they've got to go and renew. Civil rights, yep, those rights. But the human and natural rights will always be higher than any government rights than anybody can give you and renew with the power of a pen or with the power of a congressman or congresswoman. Why would the Black community be begging and pleading? Why would they be begging and pleading? You know, I used to, back in the 90s or whatnot, you used to have movies. I don't know what you want to call them. Not what you want to call them. Like, what do they call them? Black cinema or whatnot. They used to have movies that they are tired, and they would put this rhetoric in there. Oh, look, we're tired of asking the man to love us. Okay, that's what the hell you're doing right now. That's what the hell you are doing right now. 100 Black men asking one party with a legacy of bigotry and hatred towards an entire race of people to love them. Love us enough and give us a Black woman in leadership. I'm going to tell you the truth. I did scour that list, and if I see one person on this list, hey, most of the people on there, they're ex entertainers, basically. They would be a has-been, if that's still, if you still recognize that word. I wish I could find that clip. There's a specific movie. And then they even went in, they even go so far as to cite the 94 crime bill and 81. And in these 80s, they're citing all of these particular years and bills. But so what are you asking for? Does that mean you can ever really be, you got a permanent underclass with these people, with this organization? You've got a permanent underclass. I mean, the Black vote, the way it's with the Black population, the way that it is, the vote is going to be, it's going to be, they'll be indifferent about it. And they're getting, can't you see that? They've become more indifferent about it because they are trying to replace the Black community's voter base with the Hispanic vote. And see, there's so many cultural issues going on right now. There's so many assaults and many and generational damage from this type of leadership or government. But I tell you, I also see it as an opportunity. This is also an opportunity for these Black males. They are this is the Black beast trying to hold on to their cabal. I mean, does anybody think it's not possible? They're trying to hold on to their spot. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I'm pretty random, right? Can you guys still hear me out there? I know it's like I chose a rant for my sound test. Okay, there you go. Take it or leave it. Thank you guys so much for being here. But this is disturbing to me. It's Stockholm syndrome. I've been saying that for a while. If you've been beaten via slavery, if you've been chained, if you've been locked up, if you've been caged, then why would you run to the people who are the authors of your oppression? Why would you want anything from them? Why? And on that top of that, you want it to be you just want it to be given. You're not even saying, you're just saying, I mean, here's the thing. How do you define being the best or picking the best candidate? Well, you have to have you have to have the best compilation, right? You have to have the best subjects. You have to have the best candidates in order to compete. So to me, this position that they have, this statement, it's not, it's such a demoralizing proposition to say, or to say that a Black person needs to be eligible for a position just based on the skin color or the melanin, or God forbid that party, what's between your legs or your skin. That's how you compete. That's not competitive. But you were given exceptional. Thank you so much, Kimon Reed, Unstoppable. But your competitive level, or your gifts or your talents, are very individual. And that's more part of the American creed, or even or I won't say doctrine, but that's more, you don't want to see. The thing about that party, the left, is they don't appeal to individuals. They want to appeal to groups and chaos. Why not? If I want to compete, whether it's for a job, a position, a gig, whatever it is, let me be reviewed amongst the best. If I qualify, that's how I want to be evaluated. I want to compete with the best, so that if I win, then I really know that I won based on my credibility, on my credentials, on my experience, and based on how I've presented myself. That I also, I had the self-worthiness, or that I established my self-worth to get that position. This kind of garbage is it's an internal demoralization, because this kind of garbage right here is the kind of thing that undoes all the work that talented people who got out here and competed for what they wanted. They didn't say, let me pick the person with the longest hair, with the nicest hair, or the best dressed, or not the best dressed, but they didn't pick somebody. That wasn't done on it wasn't done on qualifications. And I'm telling you, a United States of segregation is not the right direction. And these people that have signed, and there's a bunch of reverends on here. I mean, this is the thing. This is the poison, all right? You have, back in the day, many times you had your reverends and your ministers. They may have very well been the most educated person in the community. But now you've got these entertainers, these entrepreneurs, these artists. You've got an assortment of what do you want to call it? Power, or people with status or status. So they all get together because they think that they have that much influence. Now, I'm going to be honest. When I saw, what was it, P. Diddy, or whatever he calls himself these days, when I saw him a few weeks ago, or it was a couple of months ago, maybe be more than that, earlier in the spring, when I saw him talking about his final statement, his final statement in one of these clips was that I'm paraphrasing, that he was going to hold the vote hostage. Is this what he means? I'm just thinking, okay, well, maybe this man is making a conscious decision maybe he's doing some research on his own. Maybe he's putting in the work behind the scenes to bring people to some type of self-autonomy on this whole voting process. But nope, look what you get. You got a statement which they open up with, oh yeah, oh, this should happen, and now it has to happen. So first you got the warning that it should be a Black woman, and now you got the threat that it has to be. Okay, so what? So then does that mean you're going to get out here? What was it? The rock the vote? Is that going to be what's that going to be? Is P. Diddy creating a campaign now that he's going to hold the vote hostage? I mean, come on. The black thought and black convictions is clearly there. It's not a monolith. And it's insulting that 100 Black men would get together and issue a statement that they don't even realize a statement, a demoralizing statement that cuts their argument into 3 or 4 pieces before they even finish it. Cuts it. You basically admitted this is gangster. This is paper gangster. And people can say, you know, I'm not anti. You know what? I'm not a feminist. Okay, let's be clear on that. I'm not. You present yourself every day, and until you prove otherwise, that's the way I think about it. This is not about male bashing. It's not about feminine bashing. This is about being qualified and go ahead and assimilate with the frickin' American values, because that's where you live and that's where you're from. It's not going behind the scenes making dirty deals and hamstringing people for affirmative action. Is that the best we can do, Black community? Is that all we got? And you're doing it at the hands of the Democrat Party. In the name of the Democrats. So I appreciate you guys. I'm going to come out of, I put this document away just a second, but I mean, I could blast the names up there, but as you know, I can't make this stuff up, you know, I really can't make it up. Thanks so much. About time. It's nice that you came in. So this is turning out to be a rant. But I'm just thinking, it's just everything about this. There's psychologically something wrong with this. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I don't think you have to be. Why would anyone beg someone? It's like, hey, can somebody tell these people that they can be free? That they can be free to do what they want to do. You actually don't have to ask the Democrats or Joe or the DNC for a damn thing. You actually don't. You don't. And so then this is the kind of thing, like, we should cancel the entertainment industry. I mean, most of these people on this list are, you know, they're not quite there anyway. Shout out to Loyal Grow Show. I'm not sure if is this your first time in. This is the test, believe it or not. I'm going to flash these names just really quickly, just for kicks, you know. I'm going to flash the names. Maybe that'll help you guys, the visuals. I mean, you might recognize some of these names, but I think there's a couple of ministers or something. I'd see. Okay, there you go. There you go again. Use the ministers to, you know, but see, even that, you know. And I don't mean to be too philosophical, but I'm going to paraphrase this. What was it? Nietzsche that said, you know, God is dead. Well, I think they tried to make that true in the 1960s, or at least they did that from a cultural perspective. They did assassinate the faith because they got what they wanted. They got something else instead. Because you can't bargain with the devil and think you're going to be prosperous. And here again, this is no different. I don't see any difference in this than somebody making a backdoor deal in the 60s. You're co-signing on to more demoralization. You're co-signing on to more destabilization of your own community. You're demoralizing the aptitude of Black people with this garbage. And the disappointing thing is that I have yet to see one person, none of these elites from these Africana studies departments, nobody even as they say, checked Joe Biden on what he even asserted about the Black community from a diverse, you know, are you going to ask him to back that statement up? Support your argument, Joe Biden. Because there's a ton of historical context. There's a ton of empirical evidence that says he's a liar. He's not right. Shout out to everybody in the stream. I said this was a sound check, but it's a rant check. Get your rant check. Get your rant check here on Black Spring today. So I'm going to put up this nice list for everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. I won't take up too much more of your time on this one, but it just doesn't set well with me. None of this is okay. None of it. And it also just goes to show you how shady and how seedy this party is. I think I heard somebody say a little while ago that, that Democrat Party, if they come back around and have good ideas later on in life, I'd go, but I'm like, I'm not going back to this party. I'm sorry, I can't. Now, I'm probably going to get banned for what I'm about to say. Shout out to David Furman. How are you doing? Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody that's in the stream. Shout out to everybody that's taking care with the thumbs up, thumbs down, sharing out, making sure you're still subscribed. I really appreciate it. But the ticker here is some things are you just can't be reversed. There's just some things that, you can't reverse certain things. So I'm just going to read these names, okay? Sean Diddy Combs, to your left, top left corner. Number 1 on the list. Next, co-signed by Leonard Charlemagne the God McKelvey. Michael Bennett, Bishop William J. Barber, Ben Crump Esquire. Oh, amazing. Chris Paul, James G., Jeff Johnson, Dr. Wes Bellamy, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, Rev. Jamal Bryant, Meeson Lennon, Shelly Davis, Will Packer, Karen Webb, Eddie Glaude, Deion Taylor, Randall Pinkett, Brandon J. Johnson, Timothy, quote, Timbaland, end quote, Mosley, Nigel Talley, Van Latham, Corey Jacobs, Marcus L. Martin, MD, Quentin Harrell, Evan Ross, Jason Martin, Robert Wright, Corey Gamble, Wayne Barrow, Felix Stallings Jr., Kareem Mack, Malcolm Davis, Rodriguez Jaquez, Broadnax, Al Harrington, Roy Davis Jr., Chad Elliott Jr., Richard Morris, Tariq Brooks, Omari V. Bouknight, Tyrone, Ty Dollar Sign, William Griffin Jr., James Vaughn, Emmanuel Omalabi, Terrence J., Detavio Samuels, Maurice Barrow, Nick Cannon, Cedric the Entertainer, Kyles, DeAndre Whitfield, Kirk Lightburn, Alum Damala Badar Akon, Taim. Okay, I'm doing a butcher job, but I'm a human, right? Carter Brown or Cartier Brown, Freddie Jackson, Omar Epps, Matthew J. Middleton, Jay Lundy, Doug E. Fresh, Mark Wesley, Myron Adote, Earl Stevens, Brandon Marshall, Doug Baldwin, Cam Chancellor, Tuma Basa, Plies Jones or P.S. Jones, Jonathan Randall, Chris Robinson, Rep. Derwin Montgomery, Horace Levin Lennon, Ronald Backen, Derek Chuckbone Osorio, Neandre Broussard, Anthony Williams, Ray Muhammad, Dennis Rogers, PhD, Brandon Scott, Brian Rowland, Jonathan Randall, Jermaine Reed, Rep. Jewel Jones, Gregory Jones, Eric Gerald, Leon Keel, Ron Samuels, Conrad Neblett, Kwame McLeod, Stefan Green, Bakari Kidwana, Cliff Albright, Phil Hughley, Anthony Anderson, Javin Joyce, Eddie Francis, Jerry J.B. Smooth Brooks, Bay Adolfo Wilson, Collins Petaway III, Dr. Ricky White, Gennaro Stewart, Reverend Mark Thompson, Rashad Lambert, Omar Beasley, Mark Anthony Neal, and for the final group, Joe Dillard Jr., Albie Shore, Van Jones, Thomas Wilson, Alvin Waters, Calvin Waters, Montez Cornelius, Reverend Herbert Daughtry, Bakari Sellers, Pastor Michael McBride, Reverend Tony Lee, Zuo Reeves, Raheem Jenkins, Bill Bellamy, Richard Gant, Reverend Lucata Jumbe, Bobby L. Fuse, Eric Gant, Coco Achbong, Terrence Charles, Jeff Rush, and Channing Johnson. So there you go. There's the damage. So yeah, I mean, it's more than, it's despicable that these kind of tactics are going on. I'm going to be honest. Somebody, I think, probably should have started a walk away movement. A walk away. I don't know how much closer to home can you get for a walk away movement. I think it's a great idea. It's a great movement. It's a great awakening. But some of these people, I just see this is their beast that they don't want to let go of their own. But it also says to me that these people are paid puppets. And they're also, they're communist minded people. Communists recognize communists. Communists train communists. And that these people don't speak for the Black community. Those days are over. This fake civil rights movement that they've got going on. We shall overcome turned BLM. It's that Biden strings that all the way through. Everything he says, he can't leave that out. But then Now this is a plural of hearsay. I've never been to one of these rallies. I've never been in the presence of these people, but I hear that if you go to one of these, if you stumble onto them, you might even have. They might not even see one. You might not even see black people there. You might see 2% black people shoulder to shoulder with these BLM people. Shoulder to shoulder. Or you might see, or if they decide to, if a black person tries to talk to but this is another bit of a plural hearsay. I've heard that if a black person tries to talk to another black person or cop or something, then the white person comes up and says, "Oh, you can't don't talk to that person." Like basically, get yourself in line. You're mine. You're my pet. Get back in line. Shout out to Samuel Steady Rock. We don't need Samuel Steady Rock. We don't need to me that's the issue. We don't need a martyr. We don't need a savior, a man-made savior on this earth. We don't. We've had enough. We've had more martyrs than any group in the world. And where has it gotten us? How many martyrs do we need? When you run out of martyrs, you start making up martyrs. And the communists, they teach you how to make your own martyr. Who's going to be it next? Who's the next one? I mean, they did that with George Floyd, and I think that's on fumes. None of the kids have been made martyrs that have passed away in all this craziness. None of them. No black police officers have been made martyrs. Do you see the side eye here? You see that there's no David Dorn? He wasn't a martyr. He didn't make the martyr cut. None of the kids in Chicago have made the martyr cut. Was it the Burnell Trammell? What was out of Wisconsin? He didn't make the martyr cut. I mean, the list is going to go on. I mean, but there again, everything like I say, this stuff is not new. It's not new. There anything under the sun. There's nothing new about this stuff. It's already been done. Shout out to CLC in Florida. I'm just saying, it sickens me that anybody thinks that they need to you got to strong arm the oppressor. Is that what we do? Strong arm the oppressor for affirmative action. You need an affirmative action VP from the oppressor. I don't know. Call me crazy. But somebody tell these people they can be free. They don't have to beg for anything. And why would you want it? Why would you want that endorsement? Like I said, this is a destabilization, a demoralization. This makes just about anything that anybody ever did in the Black community, whether it was on a high intellectual level. This is a slap in the face to people that have triumphed over poverty, or it's huge. I had a professor that told me, "Oh, well, you're the first Black." I'm like, I can't, you're not. Did you hear anything I said? You didn't hear anything I said, but you need to tell me. This is the liberal. This is the kind of liberal stuff that comes out. This is Black liberal to me. This is a professor to me. she just has to keep, and every time she said it's no more permeable than it was the last time. He said, I'm never going to parrot what you're saying, lady. I'm just not going to do it because my success didn't come from that first black da 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 da. Da. It didn't come from that. I'm not going to do I'm not going to parrot your liberal garb, your social protections, or I'm not going to carry your social banners. I'm not. But I'm just thinking, why wouldn't a swath of Africana studies professors come out and blast Joe Biden? Why not? He's clearly wrong to say that he was clearly wrong to say that the black community was less diverse in any way. In any way, there's enough empirical evidence to suggest, no, you're not. You're not telling the truth. You're lying. That's not even something you can say in jest that's effective. A shout out to everybody that's in the stream. Believe it or not, this is a test, but it's actually a test rant. Get your rant check here on Black Spring with Autumn. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Shout out to CLC, Alien Believers. Taryn Herring, thank you so much for coming in. Old Head Deuce. Thank you guys for taking care with the an AZ Infidel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking care with the thumbs up, thumbs down. And thank you for those of you who are there to share anytime, or just thank you for making sure you're still subscribed to the channel. And that looks like I have a new person in. Loyal Grow Show. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in. I'd like to make note of those, and shout out to David Furman for coming in. I really appreciate it. Says this was not a scheduled stream, but it is, I guess a rant. Rants are not scheduled. So this is close that I can get to a rant for today, but it's just disgusting. I'm sick of all of this. I'm sick of the garbage. I'm sick of the garbage coming from people that think they have some kind of influence. People that are a part of the problem and not the solutions. And the thing about it is, everything, there's subjectivity, in anything. Just because somebody gives you something, that doesn't mean you accept it as the truth. Somebody tells you or presents something to you. It's not what it means. But on the flip side, they expect you, whatever they say, is that from the liberals, if they say it, it's true. It's law. I had my uncle, he said, well, they said no justice, no peace. I'm like, what exactly what are you saying? I know what you said, they said, but what are you saying? That is not the law. And you think that's going to be met with what? Like, to me, when you say, for you to even repeat that, to me, you're complicit with it. So what, are you out there doing things now? Are you out there being a peaceful protester? Shout out to the rapper 10,000. I try to keep these rants, try to keep them clean, try to keep them together. I'm going to share a couple of comments, but I'll take the names off of here. Hope you guys are doing well on your Tuesday. Let's see. The rapper says the Black community is heavily on the plantation and refuses to see how they are being used. Some pro-Black teachers keep selling these lies. Yeah, they've been selling these lies for years. The rapper. They've been selling them for years. And to me, the government can never do anything about jealousy and envy. Okay, I'm just going to put it down here the way I see it. Jealousy and envy, the government can't do a damn thing about your jealousy and your envy. What are you doing for yourself? While you're comparing yourself to other people, you could be doing something for yourself to advance yourself. That's all I mean. They try to euphemize everything. I think I've made this statement before. People say, "Oh, well, this person, that's a hater or whatever." And you're trying to euphemize people being hateful. Hate is hate. It's still ugly as hell to me. I don't care if you put an R on the end of it. I don't care what you do to dress up the word hate. I don't care what you add on to it. You're still hateful. So that you're just, and you're nasty and you're an ugly person. Jealousy and envy, that's hate to me. There's one and the same. You're still jealous. There's nothing contrived there's nothing contrived, or there's nothing unique about the way people spin and dress these things up. Dress up evil, dress up darkness, dress up bad manners, dress up irresponsibility. You can dress it all up and it's still not good. So shout out to everybody in the stream. I'm going to take these names off of here. Hope you guys can still hear me. I decided to ditch my ditch the headphones. So I'm going to stop sharing that. But yes, I'm telling you that I can't make this stuff up, I can't make it up. Like some of the highest achieving, some of the best people, there will always be unsung heroes in the Black community because of this kind of garbage. Because you got those of us that want to work our way up. We want to be evaluated on what we do individually. We want to be evaluated on our best. And if our best puts us over the top and makes us number one, that's what we want. We don't want anything given to us, because that means you just devalued. The prize is worth less. The prize is worth less. And it's the same thing, when people, I draw it down to this. Maybe this is the bad analogy or bad comparison or bad metaphor. It's the same thing that people that destroy when you rent something, you don't seem to care for it the same as if it's yours, or as if you earned it, because you're giving it back. You're giving it back, and you're going to give it back in whatever condition you give it back in. They have no choice but to take it back. But I tell you one, that also means it was never yours. You can't earn it because it's not yours, because the pretense was not real. And asserting or saying that a Black woman has to, she should. First, you get the warning she should be the VP, and then you say she has to get. Then you get your threat now, or you will lose, Joe Biden. That means you just degraded that position. That position would be forever tainted, because the precedence was low. The standard was so low. And it also means the people that put you in that position would never respect you, because you weren't competing. It was given to you. You didn't care for it. You didn't earn it. You didn't work for it. You didn't present your best self to get it. So I'm just, it's just sick of this. I don't even know. Is that what the DNC does? They go behind the scenes and accept threats and warnings and statements. What? Like I said, this is like mob. This is a freaking mob, like mafia style crap. honestly, I don't want to witness this, and I don't want to witness something like this in history. I don't, because I don't want to have to tell anybody else. I don't want. I would be too embarrassed to tell anybody else. Look how this came to pass. But who knows? You know, these people are ready to rewrite history. They don't care. They don't care how bad it stinks. They don't care who they have to attach you to. Shout out to everybody in the stream. I thank you guys for listening to my rant and my rants, aka sound check. So pretty much, you know, I would, like I said, I would like to find out. You know, that will be continued because I'd like to see who these other 700 women are. 700 women. But I'm just thinking, okay, you guys, see, I'm about to get, you guys can stand in solidarity for affirmative action, but you can't stand in solidarity for family values or in concern for the eugenic project of abortion in the Black community, but you can stand in solidarity. There's a lot wrong with this picture. And I called it out earlier, and I call it the Stockholm syndrome is real. Let me try it. I'll try it. I see your request. I see your request, Rapper 10,000. Let me try it. You know, I appreciate you guys for humoring me. Humoring me. And I'm gonna get out of here in less than 20 minutes. I'll make that. I'll make you that promise. That's my challenge, is to get out of here in 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. So let me see if I can't find that. Okay, so I'm gonna look and see. I've been looking for that for some time. And who knows, they've probably snapped it because they know people are on to them. Okay, so all right, I see a couple of things, and I see somebody's create, you know, you got these wonderful fact checkers in the world. All right, join the fight against systemic racism. Hold on a second. Okay, so here we go. And then we have some guy standing here saying regarding the murder of George Floyd. Okay, we must deal with deep, widespread systemic racism plaguing this country. We must do the real work to make amends for our country's original sin and break down racism and inequality from institutional to microaggression. Okay, you know what? This stuff about original sins and all this stuff. This is rich coming from a party who, to me, they seem pretty godless. So what are they talking about sin? Are they without sin? I mean, this is for free. Are any of these people without sin? I'm not even trying to be philosophical or even spiritual. I'm just saying, who is without sin? Can you name somebody? Organization, person, who can't? Who, you know, if it's made up of people, then, you know, I think there's a chance that it's plausible that there's some sin around there. So I'll go back to my original point. See, this is the rant, but I'm on it. I'm on it right now. I'm on it. The Rapper. Let's see. Okay, so this is the secure.actblue.com/donate/PD-BLM 2020. I'm gonna drop this in the stream for you guys. You know, somebody, I was listening to somebody yesterday, I think this is Beverly Beatty. She said, or no, maybe it wasn't her. I don't want to credit her with this. I'm just going to say anonymous right now. The person said that, no, it wasn't Beverly Beatty. I'm glad I didn't say that. Somebody was saying that they say seeing is believing, but she said it's actually the opposite. It's actually believing is actually the seeing. So I'm going to drop this in the stream for you so that you can see it. If that's what you need. If that helps. Okay. Shout out to Unique View. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for taking the care with the thumbs up, thumbs down. And we're going to be out of here in 10 minutes or so. But, I'm seeing quite a few. That AB. All right. So below is a list of some of the organizations working on the front lines against racial injustice and white supremacy. Please chip in now to fuel the fight. Thank you. Your support makes a difference. This is Peter DeFazio. This is Splat. Your whole contribution goes directly to these organizations and not Congressman DeFazio's reelection fund. See, got the caveat there. There's no infidel in Democrats, right? Eugene Springfield, NAACP, liberals. Campaign Zero. Know Your Rights campaign. Colin Kaepernick founded this organization that holds education seminars across the country for Black and brown youth. See, there again. You see, here we go again. You got to wrap. I would imagine that the Hispanic community or Latinos would be offended by now because you're calling them brown. That is just like, can you please bring for all the word salads that they have, you would think that they would get it. They would be able to accurately identify people's origins, but they just call them brown and Black people or African Americans. They don't call you Congolese or Ethiopian or Ghanaian or Ghanaian or whatever, Ghanaian. They don't call you or Cameroonian or they don't do that. The NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Where have we heard that before? National Police Accountability Project. This is where your money's going. The BLM Global Fund. Okay, they're set up in US, UK, and Canada with a magical mission to eradicate white supremacy and build local power to intervene in violence inflicted on Black communities. See, there again, what? This is a contribution rules. Act Blue Civics is registered. It's a charitable organization formed to democratize social welfare giving. Okay, so they're telling you can get a copy of their latest financial report, which may be obtained by emailing info.blue. So I don't know, maybe you guys want a project. You want to email them and get, seriously. Transparency, right? Let's see. Black Spring. Once you donate, there's a screen for them giving money to Joe Biden's campaign. Keep showing your messages. Not sure why it asked me to review them. Yeah, just blow right through it. Just blow right through it about time. Because there, I'm not, I try to keep things as free as I can. Hey, I've even dropped a couple of profanities on today's rant. So you're forgiven. Okay. So there's just one, there's quite a few links. Okay. So of course here you've got your amounts that you can do, or you can just do you got to just blank checkbook right here. And you can just donate $1 million, right? They won't say no. No denying here. So I'm just saying, I'm just getting sick of all of this garbage. That's not what I want to say. I'm sick of it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for entertaining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. Yeah, but it's not just, we've got many battles all over the place. And, we're We're not even showing we're not even, we've got a lot of people out here that are speaking out, standing up, but there needs to be, hi, JT Waterman. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm just saying, it's a crippling, it's a demoralization. And, to tell somebody to threaten somebody, you need to do this affirmative action. Although you've suppressed and caused transgenerational damage, why would you ask anybody for that? Somebody that's oppressed you. So it's like, so you're admitting that these people have done irreparable damage, have done generational damage. But you're going to go, and these people will probably call me a coon or an elephant or whatever they want to come up with. Whatever. They'll do that. But they're the ones out here begging for something that doesn't even warrant any credibility, or they're out here begging for a position without competing. So I'm just thinking, what is it? The mafia broker. We got the mafia broker for this position. This is United States of America. This is really not good representation. This is trash. It's amazing what money will do for people. They would rather use their, my thing is, P. Diddy, why don't you use your money and your influence to educate people? Not with history, not with his story. Why don't you use your influence to do that and stop undoing what people have done for people who have organically achieved what they wanted to do. Don't use your money and your influence for affirmative action. Nobody wants that. No, I'm seriously. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And nobody comes out and challenges these people. They praise them for any little thing that they do. Their energies are they're I mean, how can you be this misguided or misinformed? I mean, I'm just saying, the thing about it is that it sickens me to say, shout out to Brittany Duh, nice to see you. The thing that's really more disturbing is like, we don't have to worry about the Democrat Party surviving and ruling for 1,000 years, because they've already trained Black people to destroy themselves for 1,000 years. Their legacy will live on because they have trained Black people to keep this garbage up, to do it to the next generation. Yeah, there's just, they're training the next generation. And then when they're done, the celebrities and these deletes come out and give warnings and threats. And that they've trained, I gotta tell you, they have trained the Black community well, and it's going to be on the Black community to break this damn curse. Money's not going to break the curse. Robert Johnson's proposal of $14 trillion is not going to break the curse. It's really sick. It's really sick. And the way the Democrats get away with the stuff that they do, I'm just like, God, who owns this party? How have they been at large so long? They are so brazen and so bold. They're going to survive no matter what. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Hey, we're hitting double digits today. I'm getting double digits on the rant. Is that how this works, guys? You get a rant check here and I get double digits. Shout out to Unique View. Thank you so much for coming in. Well, you know what, Rapper? I think that, it certainly is, but I'm thinking, we don't need any liberals creating any more martyrs, or we don't need them. We don't need liberals. They can take a taxi with all of their pet projects and their garbage. We don't need them. It's the only time what the most popular thing you will see is you've got a toxic entertainment industry, a toxic entertainment industry, and they have all contributed to the demise and to the destruction in the Black community. And now you got this garbage. You got people, I mean, they're not even hiding it. Here's our statement. Here's our threat. Do this. But I'm telling you, this is definitely a game changer. This will be, you can get your journals together, because this is going to be, if you see it, when you start to see another decline, whether it's on an intellectual level, whether it's because these kids lack mathematics, or whether they lack history in schools, whether they're lacking grammar in schools, then you will know where it was initiated. You will know where it started. And it's a permanent class of demoralized people that they are trying to create, a permanently demoralized community. And they are being successful. I really appreciate you guys for coming on for the rant today. Try to keep the rants clean. Really appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap out. I'm going to give a shout out to everybody that came in on this stream. Honestly, I'm not monetized, and I'm not saying that I'm not at risk of getting dinged or whatever. But I'm going to say this, and I have friends of all backgrounds. And say, do I really need to say this? When people present themselves and say that and protest and demand and say, oh, I'm going to vote for Democrats. I'm like, okay, here it is. You saying that you're going to vote for the Democrats religiously and all this. It's similar to, it's like, it would be like the Jews voting for the Nazis. Now that's my clip. That's my take. I don't care how they dress it up. In fact, I got to tell you, they've actually outlasted. They continue to terrorize. They continue. So with that said, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I'm going to give a shout out to everybody old and new. And I plan to have some things to roll out. Some things are on delay, but some places are actually shut down right now, believe it or not. Like, I think some people are actually living more life than some people are living more life in other parts of the country than we are. Shout out to Sleek Steaks. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. So we're going to wrap this one up. We're going to tag out. Shout out to Old Head Deuce, Kimon Reed, Unstoppable, Sleek Steaks Rule. Appreciate it. Crazy Chick Sheena. Thank you so much for coming in. Shout out to JT Waterman. Thank you so much for coming in. CLC in Florida. Thank you guys very much. The Biden-Trump debate will be history making and not in a good way. I hear you. Shout out to, I don't want to miss anybody. Old Head Deuce. Shout out to you, Brittany Duh. Shout out to you, Kimon Reed, Unstoppable. Thank you guys so much for coming in and for your patience on this sound check or rant check 1, 2. Shout out to About Time. It's nice to see you, About Time. It's been a lifetime. Shout out to Unique View. I'm not familiar with, I've heard some good things about Sony Johnson, but I'm trying to catch her. I'm trying to catch one of her streams, or I'm trying to figure out what is her actual channel name. So I've run into some things that are not quite, just doesn't get me directly onto her. Doesn't quite get me directly onto to her channel. Shout out to, who else do we have here? CLC, Brittany Duh, Kimon Reed, Unstoppable, About Time, Unique View. I think I'm repeating a little bit here. Let the Truth Be Told. Thank you so much for coming in. And let's see, the Rapper 10,000. Shout out to you, CLC. I think, this rant has gone on for a long time. Chrysler Imperial H, Alien Believers. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming in. But yeah, that was a rant. Kind of a clean rant there. But this is a rant one. All right, guys, I appreciate it. And I want to use my microphone a lot more, and I will be doing so. One more rant. What should it be? What should I do? I mean, honestly, I could keep going with that one, but I think that's the clean version, I guess. Type 2, if you like. Yeah, I have just never seen so much low achievement, it's a low self-esteem. It's such a low view of, so it's a low esteem. It's a low expectation. And I can't, I couldn't be silent about it, because, some things, I think some things just need to be said. And some things just need to be said. I don't like things to be given to me when there's clearly competition. Like, let me do what I need to do, or I won't compete, or I'm not involved. I mean, who would ever accept that position without competing for it? And I don't mean just compare. It's just the credentials. You have to have credibility. You have to have experience. You have to have you have to have you need to have what you need to be qualified. You need to have what it takes. Everybody has a unique talent. And you want people to be rewarded for not just for their talent, but you want them to keep contributing to society, or to keep making keep making a nation, forward and go forward and powerful. You don't want people need to be competent. They need to in your domain of competence. I'm not competent in every domain, and I don't profess to be, and I don't want to be elevated to positions in which are not of my domain of competence. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to wrap this up. So, I don't know the rants are probably going to come up a little bit more often, because sometimes I don't quite get to those, because I'm trying to give you as much as I can without too much personal conjecture there. I try not to do that. I try to give you hypotheses that are rant based hypotheses. Thank you guys so much. So I will see you guys around tomorrow. This was not supposed to be happening today, but it was just too big of a mile. I couldn't really let it go down. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I will see you if all's well. We'll see you guys tomorrow, because I did say we were going to switch to Wednesdays at 9 PST. And, sometimes I might want to rant. It might be a rant-based streams. I still get some value in there. But you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you around tomorrow.